Assalamu alaikum class. So today we are going to discuss chapter 21 Musharka in bank deposits. So अब मुशारका इन बैंक डिपॉजिट हमने ऊपर भी लास्ट चैप्टर में डिस्कस किया था कि ये भी आगे हम आपसे डिस्कस करेंगे इन डिटेल कि मुशारका यहाँ बैंक डिपॉजिट्स में कैसे काम करता है. An important value of an Islamic society is mutual dealing. It also refers to deposits in bank. The operation of fixed deposits and savings accounts in Islamic banks will be different from conventional banks because the Islamic bank will be based on musharka contribution or shirka and mudarba. ठीक है, in which like conventional banks people will invest in two ways. ठीक है, दो तरीकों से इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. एक participation in setting up the bank like any other company by joint investment, and the participants will be called the shareholders. They will have a partnership shirka effected by a mutual contract since they have used their capital and deed on the bank. And the second, participation by the operating their accounts in fixed deposits and savings accounts, and participants will be called the account holders. These will not be the actual owners or shareholders of the bank, rather partners in profit only, meaning that they will have a contract of mudarba. तो बेसिकली दो टाइप की आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आ जाती हैं इसके अंदर. एक इस्लामिक बैंक सेटअप करते हुए जो शेयर होल्डर्स ने पैसे लगाए तो वो शेयर होल्डर्स बन जाते हैं और वो बैंक के पार्टनर्स बन जाते हैं शिरका के अंदर. ठीक है, वेयर एज जो उसके कस्टमर्स होते हैं उसके अंदर अकाउंट खोलते हैं. ये अकाउंट होल्डर्स जो हैं इनको हम मुद्दारे भी कहते हैं क्योंकि ये बेसिकली वहां पर सॉरी ये रबुल माल होंगे जो वहां पर मुदारबा के अंदर पैसे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं अपने. ठीक है, और ये एक मुदारबा का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होगा इनके साथ. The status of the bank or the shareholder will be that of a mudarib, and the account holders will be Rabbul Mal. The contract known as Musharka will be a combination of Shirka and Mudarba. This is the reason why the profit ratio of depositors is less than the actual shareholders, and the depositors will also have no voting power or the right of management because they are not involved in the debt in the deed, but they have only supplied the capital. This kind of dual relationship is not uncommon in Islamic fiqh. Therefore, if the mudarib bank or the sub shareholders want to merge his assets with the assets of the depositor, it is allowed to, in which case he will be regarded as the owner of half of the assets and mudarib of the other half. This has already been discussed at length in chapter 13 on musharka. जब musharka discuss ये सारा डिटेल हो चुका है, आपको ऑलरेडी पता है. In the previous chapter, the following facts have been established. तो एक बात जो establish होगी, the actual status of the deposits is debt and not amana. ये पहले establish हो गया. The excess paid on a loan is interest, not profit. तो loan के ऊपर कोई interest excess पे जाएगा वो profit नहीं होगा, वो loan वो interest होगा. And if a bank is operating on Islamic principles, the bank and depositors will have a partnership through a contract of shirka or mudarba, in which case the depositor's capital will not be regarded as a loan. ठीक है, अब ये लोन नहीं होगा, डिपॉजिटर्स ने अब लोन की जगह बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट किया है. The shareholders will act as Rabbul Mal as well as Mudarib. तो शेयर होल्डर्स वो रब्बुल माल भी होंगे और मुदारिब भी होंगे क्योंकि वो एक्टिवली वर्क करने के लिए पार्टिसिपेट भी कर रहे होंगे उसमें कुछ लोग. देन द डिपॉजिटर्स विल ओनली एक्ट एज रब्बुल माल बिकॉज वो बिजनेस की वर्किंग के अंदर कोई एज सच एक्ट नहीं कर रहे. Then fixed deposits and saving accounts will be converted into a mudarba account where the distribution of profit for each partner will be determined in proportion to the actual profit accrued to the business and not according to a fixed ratio or in proportion to the capital invested by him. ठीक है, तो fixed proportion जो profit का है उसका profit का एक proportion उनको दिया जाएगा, जबकि उनकी इन्वेस्टमेंट का परसेंटेज उनको नहीं दिया जा सकता कोई भी. Fixing lump sum amount is not allowed and any rate of profit tied up with an investment is also not allowed. So एक तो वो lump sum नहीं कह सकते इतना इनको दिया जाएगा, ना ही ये कह सकते हैं कि जी इतने परसेंट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट इनको दे दिया जाएगा. उनको सिर्फ प्रॉफिट का एक सर्टेन परसेंटेज जो है वो दिया जाएगा. Then the entire setup of the bank is on musharka basis where the relationship of the bank and shareholder is through a partnership agreement, that is shirka, because they are participating in the labor as well as the investment, and the relationship between the bank and the depositors is only that of mudarba because the depositors have only invested without participating in labor. Therefore, this contribution of shirka or mudarba is called musharka in modern terminology. Now let's discuss the distribution of profit under Musharaka agreement. The distribution of profit will be done according to the rules of Musharaka. Before we begin the summary of the distribution of profit, it is appropriate to mention here that the conventional banks do not pay interest to current account holders. Therefore, there is no need to convert the operation of the current account into any Islamic mode of financing. However, the distribution of profit to the rest of the partners and account holders will be made on the following rules governing Musharaka. It is not a condition for the final distribution of profit that all assets are liquid. Rather, the profit and loss is calculated on the basis of the evaluation of assets. In case of loss, each partner shall suffer the loss exactly according to the ratio of his investment. And in case of profit, the profit will be distributed according to the agreed ratio between the partners. It should be taken into account that both parties are free to determine any ratio of profit of the bank as the manager Mudarib. Therefore, it can be agreed mutually that Rabul Mal will have a higher profit margin and Mudarib lower. However, as a shareholding partner, the share of profit of the Mudarib cannot be less than the ratio of his investment since he is the sole provider of labor. The same rule will apply on the operation of Islamic banks on the basis of Musharka. The actual shareholder, apart from being the manager, are also shareholding partners. Their ratio of profit cannot be less than their ratio of investment. However, the ratio of profit as Mudarib can be determined at whatever rate they please. For example, अब इसकी एक illustration है. Suppose the total investment of the bank is rupees 15 million, in which the depositors have invested rupees 10 million on Mudarba basis, and the shareholders as Mudarib have invested 5 million. This means that one third share of the total capital belongs to the shareholders and two-thirds to the depositors. The role of Mudarib is the in the two-third capital raised by depositors is played by the shareholders. Therefore, their role of profit as manager Mudarib can be agreed between themselves through mutual consent, but their role ratio of profit as shareholders cannot be less than one third. If their share is agreed at the less than one third, it would mean that the depositor's share has exceeded two-third. Although it has been established that they will not be managing the business, the bank, and their share of profit will not exceed the ratio of investment. If it has been agreed in the above example, the shareholders as managing partners will get one third of the profit and the rest of the two-third will be distributed equally between depositors and shareholders as per the Mudarba contract between them. Then if, for example, the profit amount is rupees 1.5 million, then the shareholders will get their share on the basis of one third, that is 0.5 million as the investor Rabul Mal, and half of the two-third profit, that is rupees 0.5 million as the manager Mudarib, whereas the other half of the two-third profit will go to the depositors as Rabul Mal. इन शॉर्ट बेसिकली अगर 15 मिलियन की इन्वेस्टमेंट है जिसमें से 10 मिलियन जो है वो डिपॉजिटर्स का है और शेयर होल्डर्स ने 5 मिलियन इन्वेस्ट किया है, तो बेसिकली उनका पॉइंट यही है कि जो शेयर होल्डर क्योंकि वो मैनेज कर रहे हैं तो उनको जो प्रॉफिट की रेशियो है वो वन थर्ड से कम नहीं मिलेगी क्योंकि उनकी इन्वेस्टमेंट वन थर्ड है. तो उनकी इन्वेस्टमेंट के बराबर ही, इससे ज्यादा तो उन्हें दिया जा सकता है, इससे कम उन्हें नहीं दिया जा सकता, बिकॉज वो मैनेज भी तो वही कर रहे हैं, लेबर भी तो वही प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं ना. बाकी तो स्लीपिंग पार्टनर सॉर्ट ऑफ है, ठीक है, वो रब्बुल माल है, तो उनको कम दिया जा सकता है, जबकि जो मैनेज करे उसको ज्यादा भी दिया जा सकता है. तो लेकिन इसका रूल ये है कि जो उसकी इन्वेस्टमेंट है उससे ज्यादा ही उसका शेयर होना चाहिए, जो जो काम कर रहा है उतना ही, उससे ज्यादा, उससे कम नहीं होना चाहिए. The above provision can be adopted to run the bank on the principle of musharka. So term deposit जैसे कि सर्टिफिकेट होते हैं, तो उसकी बेसिस के ऊपर बिजनेस को चलाया जा सकता है, जैसे टर्म डिपॉजिट सर्टिफिकेट है. In case of bank issues a term deposit certificate on the above mentioned basis, it may have the following salient features. It should be noted that the issue of negligible instrument, negotiable instrument or certificate for the secondary market, it is essential to have at least 10% ijara assets or any other fixed assets in the portfolio of the investment. तो 10% इजारा के एसेट्स उसके अंदर रखे जाएंगे ताकि वो सेकेंडरी मार्केट में ट्रेड हो सके. Then the maturity options available to the customer under this scheme range from 1 month to a maximum of 5 years or more. तो इसकी जो ड्यूरेशन होगी वो इतनी रखी जाएगी 1 to 5 years की. Then profit distribution का जो mechanism होगा, so in all types of accounts, term deposit certificates or savings accounts, so the following procedure of profit distribution would be adopted to make it Sharia compliant. The investors, deposit holders, जो account holders हैं, invest into the pool of Sharia compliant assets of the bank on the basis of musharaka. The investors are Rabbul Mal and the bank is the Mudarib working partner. ठीक है. Then profit is shared by both parties in accordance with the ratio of profits. In case of loss, it would be shared by both parties on pro rata basis. Then a ratio of profit is fixed for both parties at the time of investment. ठीक है, तो प्रॉफिट की जो रेशियो है वो तय कर दी जाएगी फॉर बोथ पार्टी एट द टाइम ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, लेकिन किस चीज की होगी, प्रॉफिट की शेयरिंग की रेशियो होगी, ये इन्वेस्टमेंट की बेसिस के ऊपर प्रॉफिट नहीं होगा. अगेन अगर लॉस होगा तो वो उसी रेशियो के ऊपर होगा जिसके ऊपर पैसे इन्वेस्ट किए गए हैं, लेकिन अगर प्रॉफिट होगा तो वो प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग की रेशियो तय की गई है उसके ऊपर होगा डिवाइड. द रेशियो ऑफ प्रॉफिट इज बेस्ड ऑन ग्रॉस प्रोडक्ट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर डिडक्शन ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस एट एक्चुअल. After deduction of the indirect expenses, the remaining profit is shared with the investors and the bank on pre-agreed fixed ratios. The profit of the bank is called the Mudarib's profit, and the profit of the deposit is called the Rabul Mal or investor's profit. The investor's profit is subdivided into various ratios, weightages on the basis of the following procedures. A specific weightage will be allocated to the different types of investors, depositors according to their maturity and or investment profiles at the beginning of each quarter. Distribution or declaration of profit at the end of each quarter will be done in accordance with the pre-agreed weightages. In case the bank also invests in the pool of assets, a specific weightage would also be assigned to it, and the bank would become a partner or investor as other investors or depositors. At the end of each period, quarter, the profit is distributed, declared according to the pre-agreed weightages. The investors are allowed to redeem their investment anytime by selling their shares to the bank at the value agreed at the time of redemption. ठीक है, वो किसी टाइम पे भी बेच सकते हैं जो agreed redemption हुई है, and a minimum price period can be set by the bank before which no redemption could be allowed. तो एक minimum period बैंक सेट करते हैं, इससे पहले वो पैसे आपको नहीं दे सकते. Now running a musharka account on the basis of daily products. So many financial institutions finance the working capital of an enterprise by operating a running account for them from where the clients draw different amounts at different intervals, but at the same time they keep returning their surplus amounts. Thus, the process of debit and credit goes on up to the date of maturity, and the interest is calculated on the basis of daily products. Can such an arrangement be possible under the Musharka or Mudarba modes of financing? Obviously, being a new phenomena, no express answer to this question can be found in the classical works of the Islamic fiqh. However, keeping in view the basic principles of Musharka, the following procedure must be suggested for this purpose. तो इस तरह के पर्पस के अंदर ये फॉलोइंग प्रोसीजर में जो है सजेस्ट किया गया, क्योंकि शरिया में इसके ऊपर कोई ऐसी डीलिंग या चीज नहीं देखी, क्योंकि तब डेली बेसिस के ऊपर की फाइनेंसिंग नहीं होती थी. A certain percentage of the actual profit must be allocated for the management. तो जो actual profit की percentage है वो management के लिए allocate की जाएगी. The remaining percentage of the profit must be allocated for the investors. जो बाकी है वो investor को दे दी जाएगी. The loss, if any, should be borne by the investors only in exact proportion of their respective investments. जो उनकी investment का portion है उसके अंदर दिया जाएगा loss. The average balance of the contribution made by the Musharaka account calculated on the basis of daily products shall be treated as the share capital of the financier. तो जो एवरेज बैलेंस होगा कंट्रीब्यूशन का मेड टू द मुशारका अकाउंट कैलकुलेटेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डेली प्रोडक्ट्स शैल बी ट्रीटेड एज द शेयर कैपिटल ऑफ द फाइनेंसर, तो वो शेयर कैपिटल ट्रीट किया जाएगा. The profit accruing at the end of the term shall be calculated on daily product basis and shall be distributed accordingly. वो डेली प्रोडक्ट की बेसिस के ऊपर कैलकुलेट होगा और उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया जाएगा. If such an agreement is agreed upon between the parties, it does not seem to violate any basic principles of Musharka. However, this suggestion needs further consideration and research by the experts of Islamic jurisprudence. Particularly, it means that the parties have agreed to the principle that the profit accrued to the Musharka portfolio at the end of the term will be divided based on the average capital utilized per day, which would lead to the average of the profit earned by each rupee per day. The amount of this average profit per rupee per day will be multiplied by the number of the days each investor has put his money into the business, which will determine his profit entitlement on daily product basis. Some contemporary scholars do not allow this method of calculating profit on the ground that it is just a conjectural method which does not reflect the actual profits really earned by a partner of the musharka, because the business may have earned huge profits during a period when a particular investor had no money invested in the business at all, or had a very insignificant amount invested. Still, he will be treated as par with other investors who had huge amounts invested in the business during that period. Conversely, the business may have suffered a great loss during a period when a particular investor had huge amounts invested in it. Still, he will pass on some of his loss to other investors who had no investment in that period, or their size of investment was insignificant. This argument can be refused on the ground that it is not necessary in a musharka that a partner should earn profit on his own money only. Once a musharka pool comes into existence, all the participants, regardless of whether their money is utilized or not in a particular transaction, earn the profit according to the joint pool. This is particularly true of the Hanifi school, which does not deem it necessary for a valid musharka that the mandate monetary contribution of the partners are mixed up together. It means that if A has entered into a musharka contract with B but has not yet distributed his money into the joint pool, he will still be entitled to a share in the profit of the transactions effected by B for the musharka through its own money. Although his entitlement to a share in the profit will be subject to the disbursement of money undertaken by him, yet the fact remains that the profit of this particular transaction did not accrue to his money, because the money disbursed by him at a later date stage may be used for another transaction. ये इसी की एग्जांपल है। बेसिकली ये है कि ये दो बंदों ने मुशारका का तय किया कि मुशारका करेंगे, 50-50 हजार रुपए लगा दिए। अब हुआ ये कि मिस्टर ए ने अभी तक अपने 50 हजार नहीं दिए थे, मिस्टर बी ने अपने 50 हजार लाया। उसको एक अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी नजर आई, उसने कोई चीज खरीदी और उसको आगे प्रॉफिट के ऊपर बेच दिया, जिसके ऊपर उसे 10 हजार प्रॉफिट हो गया। अब इसके अंदर क्योंकि मिस्टर ए के पैसे नहीं लगे हुए, तो इशू ये है कि ये पैसे तो सिर्फ मिस्टर बी के थे जिससे उसने चीज खरीदी और आगे बेच भी दी और उसके ऊपर प्रॉफिट भी अर्न कर लिया। अब फिर इसके बाद ट्रांजेक्शन के बाद मिस्टर ए आता है अपने पैसे लेकर, और दोनों के पैसे इकट्ठे कर दिए जाते हैं, और अब इससे जाकर वो कुछ और खरीदते हैं, उसे बेचते हैं, तो उनको 2 हजार का लॉस हो जाता है। अब क्या मिस्टर ए को 1 हजार का लॉस फेयर करना होगा, या फिर उसको भी जो प्रॉफिट था उसके अंदर से 1 हजार काट के बाकी के 4 हजार दे दिए जाएंगे? तो बेसिकली इस्लामिक शरिया का जो रूल ये है कि अगर मुशारका बन गया, उसके बाद उन पैसों से जो भी ट्रांजेक्शन होगी वो मुशारके की ही होगी। सो मिस्टर ए को भी 4 हजार मिलेगा, मिस्टर बी को भी 4 हजार मिलेगा। दैट इज द पॉलिसी। Suppose A and B entered into a musharka to conduct a business of rupees 1 lakh. They agreed to that each one of them shall contribute rupees 50,000 and the profit will be distributed by them equally. A did not yet invest his 50,000 into the joint pool. B found a profitable deal and purchased two air conditioners for the musharka for rupees 50,000 contributed by himself, and sold them for rupees 60,000, thus earning a profit of rupees 10,000. A contributed his share of rupees 50,000 after this deal. The partners purchased two refrigerators through this contribution, which could not be sold at a greater price than rupees 48,000, meaning thereby that this deal resulted in a loss of rupees 2,000. Although the transaction effected by A's money brought loss of rupees 2,000, while the profitable deal of air conditioners was financed entirely by B's money, in which A had no contribution, yet A will be entitled to the share in the profit of the first deal. The loss of rupees 2,000 in the second deal will be set off from the profit of the first deal, reducing the aggregate profit to rupees 8,000 only. This profit of rupees 8,000 will be shared by both partners equally. It means that A will get rupees 4,000 even though the transaction affected by his money has suffered a loss. The reason is that once the partners enter into a musharka contract, all the subsequent transactions affected by the musharka belong to the joint pool. Regardless of whose individual money is utilized in them, each partner is a party to each transaction by virtue of his entering into the contract of musharka. A possible objection to the above explanation may be that in the above example, A had undertaken to pay rupees 50,000 and it was known beforehand that he would contribute a specified amount to the musharka. But in the proposed running account of musharka, where the partners are coming in and going out every day, nobody has undertaken to contribute any specific amount. Therefore, the capital contribution by each partner is unknown at the time of entering into the musharka, which should render the musharka invalid. The answer to the above objection is that the classical scholars of Islamic fiqh have different views about whether it is necessary for a valid musharka that the capital is pre-known to the partners. The Hanfi schools scholars are unanimous on the point that if it is not a precondition. Al-Kasani, the famous Hanfi jurist, writes, according to our Hanafi school, it is not a condition for the validity of musharaka that the amount of capital is known, while it is a condition according to Imam Shafi. Our argument is that jahala, uncertainty, is itself does not render a contract invalid unless it leads to disputes. And the uncertainty in the capital at the time of musharka does not lead to disputes because it is generally known when the commodities are purchased for the musharka. Therefore, it does not lead to uncertainty in the profit at the time of distribution. It is therefore clear from the above discussion that even if the amount of the capital is not known at the time of musharka, the contract is valid. The only condition in that is that it should not lead to the uncertainty in the profit at the time of distribution. Distribution of profit only daily products base fulfills this condition. तो डेली बेसिस के ऊपर जो प्रॉफिट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है वो ही इसकी कंडीशन को फुलफिल करती है. It is true that the concept of running musharaka, where the partners at time draw some amounts and at other times inject new money and the profits are calculated on daily product basis, is not found in the classical books of Islamic fiqh. But merely this fact cannot render a new arrangement invalid in the Sharia so far as it does not violate any basic principles of musharaka in the proposed system. All the partners are treated at par. The profit of each partner is calculated on the basis of the period for which his money remained in the joint pool. Therefore, is no doubt in the fact that the aggregate profit accrued to the pool are generated by the joint utilization of different amounts contributed by the participant at different times. Therefore, if all of them agree with mutual consent to distribute the profit on daily products basis, there is no injunction of Sharia which makes it impermissible. Rather, it is covered under the general guidelines given by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his famous hadith as follows. Muslims are bound by their mutual agreements unless they hold up a permissible thing as prohibited or a prohibited thing as permissible. If distribution on daily products basis is not accepted, it will mean that no partner can draw any amount, nor can he inject new amount to the joint pool. Similarly, nobody will be able to subscribe to the joint pool except at the particular date of the commencement of a new term. This arrangement is totally impermissible on the deposit side of the bank and financial institutions where the accounts are debited and credited by the depositors many times a day. The rejection of the concept of the daily products will compel them to wait for months before they deposit their surplus money in a profitable account. This will hinder the utilization of savings for development of trade and industry and will help the flow of financial activities restricted for long periods. There is no other situation for this problem except to apply the method of daily products for the calculation of profit. And since there is no specific injection of Sharia against it, there is no reason why this method should not be adopted. तो ये यूज किया जा सकता है. That's it for today. Assalamualaikum class.